Welcome to Get to Know, the podcast that brings you creative careers unfiltered. I'm Morgan Williams, producer, art director, and your host. And I started this podcast because I was meeting brilliant people in the industry but had no idea what their job titles really meant. Each episode, I sit down with photographers, designers, creative directors, content creators, and more to unpack what their jobs really involve, the glam bits, the graft, and the everything in between. This is season 2 with brand new guests, panel episodes, and more honest conversations. I'm so pleased to be able to say that this season is sponsored by Capture One, the industry standard software for photographers. And if you're new here, season 1 is waiting for you. My guest today is makeup artist and agency founder who's built her career from the ground up. Starting out on the beauty counters of Clarins, Chanel, and MAC, she turned her love for makeup into a thriving freelance career, working with clients like Boohoo. But when her bookings started to overflow, she began passing work to others, and that's how the Ray Agency was born. Now, representing a growing team of artists, Corinne's balancing life as a founder and freelancer and a mum with big plans for what's next. Let's get to know Corinne Gibbons. Before we dive in, a quick favour. If you're enjoying the pod, please hit subscribe. It's completely free, helps more people like you discover the show, and means I can keep bringing you honest, inspiring chats with some of the most exciting creatives out there. Thanks so much. Now, let's get into it. Hey Corinne, you're a makeup artist, but also a founder of your own agency. Yes. So to start off, could you just tell me, like, top line what that means, and then we'll go into the detail afterwards?
So I guess, I'm a hair and makeup artist, so I've been working as a makeup artist for about 12 years now, I think. And then I started a hair and makeup artist agency, so I book other hair and makeup artists out for jobs. I started that about 2 years ago now.
It's amazing. I love the story of like how you've done it, which we'll get into in a sec. But I think it's fascinating how you actually started off as a singer. So let's go back to like the beginning. You grew up in Wales, wanted to be a singer, and moved to Manchester, right? To kind of follow that dream. Talk me through where makeup came in all of that.
Oh, take us a while to get there. But I mean, as young as I can remember, I've always been a singer. Mm-hmm. So, like neighbours used to complain about me singing.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah, I've always been a singer. Right the way through school, like choir, like any sort of event, I was singing in it. So it was almost like no question that was going to be my career. I was going to be a singer. Moved to Manchester to do music management in uni. I was singing all over Manchester, joined a band, performed at the Etihad Stadium. So I'd done sort of all sorts of things really while I was in uni. And then I pretty much wanted to learn how to do my own makeup for gigs and stuff. So I found a private makeup course, which I could do like every week in the evening, sort of alongside my uni course. Mm-hmm. And so I did that and qualified, and I just basically fell in love with it. Yeah. And then I was working at Clarins for a bit.
On the counters, right?
Yeah, and just the in-depth training that they gave you there, they'd send you away all the time, and I just felt like I learned so much about literally every layer of skin,
right, okay,
and just so in-depth that I just fell in love with it all, fell in love with the beauty industry.
So what did you learn in the course compared to what you learned just with Clarins?
On the course, I'd say it was very much more aimed at like appointments, bridal, that kind of thing.
Right, okay.
And then Clarins, I'd learnt so much about skin, whereas I'd say on my makeup course it wasn't really so much about skin. It was very sort of surface right. level, how to prep a skin, but it wasn't on a deeper level.
Yeah. So it was Clarins like a little bit more skincare and kind of what you do before the makeup?
Yeah, and I remember joining Clarins. I don't know how I even got the job because I had no beauty experience and I was so bad at makeup as well. So it was like, I remember joining and they were like, what on earth is your skincare routine? Because I was using face wipes and
Yeah.
like over 50s Nivea moisturiser.
Oh my
I
gosh.
was just like, what?
And how old were you at this time?
Oh God, I'd have been like 19.
Oh my god.
20, and they were like, what are you doing? So yeah, like going to do that course, it was, well, not the course, going and doing the, you know, the Clarins training, it was like, yeah, it was just a whole new ball game.
Yeah,
And,
I
I came out of there like skin glowing, knowing everything about skin.
But I mean, amazing training, especially for makeup, because not that I'm a makeup artist at all, but kind of what I've learned just over like years of doing my own makeup is a lot of it really is about the prep.
Oh, 100%. Skin is everything.
Yeah.
I would say I spend longer on someone's skin than like the actual makeup itself, because you can notice a massive difference between a well prepped skin and one that isn't. I could spot it, you know, just looking at a picture, being like, they've not prepped that skin properly.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
wow. You have to give me some tips later.
Yours looks great.
So when you were working on the counter at Clarins, you obviously had all of that training, but was it like more of a sales sort of job because you're working with customers like on the shop floor and that kind of thing, or were you there doing people's makeup sort of day in, day out as well?
So yes, it was sales. Obviously that is the aim, isn't it, to get the sales. However, I think the kind of person that I was, and probably still am, I think I'm very honest. So I would never have tried to sell something that wasn't for them.
Sure.
Because sometimes they'd be like, oh, we need to try and push this, but I'd be like, I don't think that's good, so I'm not going to push that. Do you know what I mean? So yes, it was sales, but they were also very much, you have to build connections with people, like remember things. They'd have a big diary and it would be like, you know, write something down about that customer. We'd have a profile.
Oh, cool.
So it would be like Sheila, for example.
Yeah.
Going to Barbados for the week. You know, she has 2 kids. So you'd write these profiles out and then you could be like, oh, how's your daughter? Like, how was Barbados? You know, so it's like you building connections with people and then they'd come back and then you just end up like building relationships with people.
Yeah.
So therefore they trust you and they trust your opinion on what skincare they need. They did have quite a basic makeup range. Mm-hmm. So, you know, like I would always like put a bit of makeup on and stuff as well, but I wasn't really that confident with it at that point.
Right. And you moved from Clarins to MAC, right?
I did.
So when did that happen and how did the two differ from each other?
Oh my gosh, so different. So yeah, I mean, MAC was the goal. Like that was the creme de la creme. At that point, it was like number one. You know, it was number one makeup brand in the world. So it was like I just wanted to be that MAC girl. You know, because I was like looking at them, like going past, I'd be like, oh my god, they've got like blue eyeshadow on, they've got blue lipstick, they're wearing like full leather outfits, heels. I just wanted to be that girl. So it actually took me 2 attempts to get a job with MAC.
Okay.
The first time I was not ready at all. I wasn't like fully confident. I did a trade test with them and I actually, the girl that was in my chair made her eyes like stream with water.
Oh no.
So no wonder I didn't get the job, you know. It was just like, yeah, that's that out the window. So absolutely fair enough. But yeah, second time I got it, but I was going for a Christmas temp role at that point.
Ah, okay.
And yeah, I literally got the job and I lost about 3 stone because it was Mac Trafford. It was massive counter, running from one side to the other. At Christmas time, I was absolutely sweating. So yeah, I was tiny at one point, like working there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So how was that different to Clarins? I guess a lot more makeup focused.
Yes, yeah, a lot more makeup focused. Just as a brand, very different. Clarins is very like calm, serene. It's all about, you know, giving a hand and arm massage, like giving a facial.
Yeah.
MAC, it was like appointments were in, they were going out. It was a lot more fun. We had music blaring. It was just like complete opposite end of the scale. And I'd say, really, from the time me being at Clarins and me being at MAC, I was 2 very different people.
Okay.
I'd say it changed me as a person, like just joining that, but I think that's sort of what shaped me to be who I am.
Yeah. In what way do you think it changed you? Like, did it just bring out your personality more?
Yeah, I would say so, because I think it was a funny age as well, because I'd have been 21, 22, So I think you're almost like becoming a woman at that age as well. So yeah, I think I just really came out of my shell, and I could be a lot more expressive, like with my makeup styles and stuff. And I just absolutely loved it. And I loved, again, like just building connections with people and like making people feel good. And yeah.
And that Christmas temp role turned into a full-time role,
Yes,
right?
it did, yeah.
And I believe you wanted to actually become like one of the team leaders or the managers there.
Yes, I did. Yeah,
So talk me through that kind of journey from Christmas temp up to, was it manager?
Yeah. It's funny actually. So yeah, obviously it was Christmas temp, and I just absolutely smashed the sales. Like I was literally smashing it because I just loved it so much. And obviously then went on to keep me as permanent, and just all the training that they would send you on, I would literally be like like this at the trainers, like, I want to be you, like
okay,
just because the outfits, like the hair, they had so much knowledge. I was like, I just want to be that good that I can be the trainer, you know, and like travel all over the UK and deliver this training. But in order for me to be a trainer, I had to be a manager. So then I would then speak to my manager, and I was like, you know, I want to be a trainer, so help me get to management. And I think I went for one job as a supervisor, and I didn't get it, and I really thought that I'd got it. And then I was just like, oh, it's a fix, you know, somebody's best mates with so-and-so, so I didn't get it. So I was like, right, I'm leaving. And then a management position came up in Clarence. They were like, we'd love to have you back. Like, come and manage the counter, or assistant manager, I can't remember. I was like, yeah, I'm going to go. So I actually handed him a notice to go and manage.
Wow.
Yeah, to go and manage there. And then Mac were then like, oh, actually, there's assistant manager in Selfridges Exchange. So would you like to go for that? We'd love to just give you the opportunity because we don't want to lose you. So I was like, right, okay. And then I ended up getting it.
Amazing.
But then I absolutely hated it. It was awful.
I feel like it's such a shift though when you do move into management, because it's like you're not actually doing the day-to-day of what you love anymore, and
it was horrific.
Managing people is a whole different ball game, and you know everything that goes into that. So did they give you any like management training whilst you were there as well, and what did that whole role sort of look like?
So I didn't really get any training as such, and I think the business manager that I was working with, I think she just had a very different management style to what I have.
Okay.
I would say naturally I like to be on the same level as everyone. I like to, you know, I have respect for you, you have respect for me. I'm very much a positive person. I'd rather focus on positive things than negative. So I just think we were very different. So I don't think we really worked that well together.
Right.
And I felt like there was a bit of a divide. It was almost like I was being told to be a certain way, which I didn't want to be. And the artists weren't responding well to that. And I was almost like, you know, I don't want to be this person.
I see.
Yeah, I don't want to be this person either. But so in the end, I ended up leaving because, it just got too much. I was working like 7 days a week because we didn't have any staff on the counter. So I was just jumping in, and it just wasn't a good time. So then I left.
Yeah. So you left and went freelance, right?
I did, yeah. So that was kind of when I then focused more on like bridal, like just like salon appointments, lessons. I kind of just went on and did all of that then. So it's just like I just need a break from retail.
Yeah.
Like I'd loved it for so long, but then I just kind of like fell out of love with it. I was like, I can't do this anymore. I didn't ever have any Saturdays. I was working those Sundays.
Yeah, of course.
I felt like I didn't have a life. I was like, just let me just do my own thing for a bit.
Yeah, definitely. How did you go about getting the work when you were freelance? So the bridal appointments and the lessons and that sort of stuff?
I think I'd built up a lot of clients anyway from working at Mac. I was doing appointments there. So, obviously on counter, that they would also book in outside of Mac as well.
Okay, right.
So I'd kind of, built up them, and then it ends up just being like word of mouth as well. Instagram was becoming quite big at that point as well. So I think things were like coming through Instagram. So, yeah.
Yeah, amazing. And didn't you have like an app or something that got you sort of different work throughout that period as well.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
So I ended up I ended up going back to Estee Lauder companies.
Yeah.
Great, they've always been such a great company, and obviously very welcoming of me, seeing as I just left. So I ended up working for the Estee Lauder Bureau, it was called. So it was just an app where I would pick up any sort of freelance shifts for the brand. So that could have been, Tom Ford, MAC, Estee Lauder, Clinique, any of the Estee Lauder brands. So, and that could be all over the UK. So say if I was shooting in London, so there was a job that came up in London, I could just be like, let's go. I'll click and do that shift.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
It worked really well along what I was doing already.
Yeah. And they were just filling in on counters where they had gaps, was it?
Yeah, maybe if somebody called in sick, or if they were, I don't know, missing a member of staff or something.
Yeah. Also, I think that's a really good way. It's like that good transition between full-time to freelance.
Yeah.
Because you can just pick up that work. You know what to expect as well because you've done it. So that's quite a nice way to transition into freelance life. And you also started picking up shoots at this point, wasn't it? Boohoo was your first sort of...
Yes, it was,
photography customer, which is incredible.
Yeah.
How did that connection come about?
So, one of the girls that was working at MAC, I remember seeing her working at Boohoo, and Boohoo was like big at this point. I mean, it's still big now, but it was like big.
Yeah.
So I was like, how is she there? Like, she's made it. Like, this girl has made it. I'm like, get me in there. I need to do it. And that's the thing with me. If I want to do something, I'm like, I need to find every single step to do that.
Yeah.
So I messaged her. I was like, any tips on like how to get in, like, at Boohoo? And she just goes, just message the lead artist. And in my head, I'm like, who's that? Yeah, who's the lead artist? But then I'm thinking, I don't want to pester and keep being like, who is it? Can you send me the thing? So I thought, a bit annoying that, isn't it? So I thought, I'm just going to find out who that is. Mm-hmm. So I'm on like Google, I was like Instagram, like for ages, like searching through like who's following Boohoo, like just trying to figure out who this girl is. Ended up finding her and followed her. I think I sent her a message. I think I didn't get anything back. And then anyway, but because I was following her, I then saw that she was like looking for makeup artists. So I was like, great,
amazing.
I'll email her.
Yeah.
Like, hey, can I come in? I'll come and do a trial day for free or whatever. Anyway, she got back to me. She was like, can you do hair? I was like, yes. Could not do hair.
Love that. Just say yes.
Could
Figure
not
it out
do
on
hair.
the job.
I'm like, yeah, I can do hair, no problem. Can you come in for a trial on Monday? I think this was like the Thursday or something. And I was like, yes, of course. Thinking, oh no, like, I can't do hair. So I'm there like ringing up my friend Ashley, who is with the agency now.
Right.
So I've literally known him for years. But I was like ringing him up. I was like, can you help? Like, I can't do hair. I've just told this girl I can do hair. Like, help. He was like, right, let's do a 1-to-1. We'll get it mastered in the day, no problem. So went and did that. I was just like, what am I doing? But told me everything to get. Anyway, went and did this trial day on the Monday. And she basically just redid the whole hair that I did. She was like, I don't know if hair is your strong point, but let's definitely, focus on the makeup. So absolutely.
Well, at least that, you got something out of it in the end.
Well, yeah, because I thought if I said no and I hadn't, I might not have got in at all.
Exactly.
So I thought at least they could see that I could do makeup. So
yeah,
that was my first in at Boohoo. And basically then I went and did a hair course after that because I just thought I'm getting half the work here because I can't do hair. So yeah.
So how did it work with them? Did they just have one person doing hair and makeup, or did they?
They had a bit of a mixture.
Yeah.
So I think they still are a little bit like that now. Okay. Some people do hair and makeup, if maybe they can't get a hairstylist. So
right.
But just in general in the industry, like you'll know, you do get a lot more work if you can do both.
Yeah, yeah. I think from a studio like point of view, which is obviously what I've got, it's easier to book one person, isn't it?
And also budgets and stuff, like it gets expensive, doesn't it, when there's when there's two. Obviously it makes things a lot easier when there's two people and quicker. However, if budget doesn't allow,
if budget doesn't stretch, it's better to do one. You've only got one person to deal with, so it's a little bit easier from that point of view. So I do agree it is easier, I guess. You get more work potentially because it's easier for people to just deal with you as one person.
Yeah,
but
100%.
Do you think it's like a necessary thing for people wanting to get into the industry to do?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, because now with the agency, I actually wouldn't take someone on now who didn't do hair.
Oh, okay.
So because I had done it in the past, and they just weren't getting anywhere near as much work.
Right.
What if you're like due on a job, hairstylist bails, for example, what if they're ill? You might need to jump on and just do that hair. Like if you can't, like, I just think it doesn't look good. And two, I just think you need to be able to do it, because what if the hairstylist, if maybe they're doing a glam and go, for example, you're on set, you need to know what you're looking for.
Yeah, for sure. And like you said, I think there's certain shoots where maybe the hairstylist is only there to literally do it and not look after it. So if the makeup artist can look after it, at least, that's obviously a plus, isn't
100%.
it? Yeah, definitely. So what's something that you remember from the Boohoo shoots that you could tell us about? Like, how did those shoots sort of run?
I mean, when I was working there, I just felt like a dream come true.
Yeah. I bet. Like, it was at the pinnacle at that point, wasn't it?
Oh my gosh. And it was so busy in there. Like, I can't even tell you like how many sets were on at once. Like, it's so different now there, it's a lot quieter.
Yeah.
But at that point, wow, like you'd walk in, music was blaring again. It's very much like a Mac kind of vibe, I would say. Everybody's laughing, everybody's having a good time, but still getting the job done. It was just a crazy atmosphere to walk into, really.
Yeah, I bet. So talk us through like a day in the life of you at Boohoo. You would get booked for a job, and then what happens on the day?
So yeah, typical day, and similar to any sort of e-com shoot, really. You'd arrive, set your kit up, and then your model would arrive. They'd probably be eating their breakfast while you're doing their hair, if you were doing their hair, obviously. A bit of a chilled morning for the model while you're doing the hair, and then you'd go on to makeup. Then you would go out on set. You would do makeup and hair test, making sure that everything looks right. You would inspect it yourself, make sure there's no shine, or making sure like eyelashes look okay, just making sure everything is like camera ready. Then at that time the lead artist would always go and inspect everyone's, and then if you needed a bit more blush, they would be like, we need more blush, we need more tan or whatever. So and then if they okayed it once everything was right, sometimes you'd be back in the makeup room like 3 or 4 times, like changing things, and you're just like, is it necessary for an e-com shoot? But you've got to do what the client wants. So
of course.
So then you would be ready to shoot. If you were doing hair, like you'd be blowing the hair with the leaf blower, or at that time back in the day we'd be like just with a big
with a board a
big cardboard thing, just like wafting the hair. And then halfway through the day, then do touch-ups after lunch, and then back to it, back with the waft.
I remember that well. Oh, did they give you a brief at Boohoo as well? So what did that look like? Did it have like image references or?
So back then, I think they used to like print it out.
Okay.
I can't really remember now, but every model would have a brief. And back then it was so heavy, like really, really heavy. It was, like full lashes, like absolutely everything's so different to what it is now. But you'd have a brief, and you'd just follow the brief as well as you could.
And then that kind of spiraled into more e-com and photo shoot work, didn't it? So talk to me about how you managed to get, connections with other places and how that evolved for you.
Well, I'd say, first of all, sort of around that Boohoo time, because Boohoo wasn't, I wasn't there 5 days a week. I wasn't even there every week. It was just sort of here and there, again, because I wasn't really trained in hair at that point. So, I was only getting the makeup job. So, because I couldn't do hair, it was less often. So, I was, always asking on Instagram, like just, for any brands, like anyone I could find, because I'm like, oh, I know how to do this now. I know who to connect with.
Yeah, just repeat the same process.
Yeah, like, right, who's a lead artist here? Like, whatever. So, and then I joined. Do you remember that Star Now? I don't know if
I do remember that.
Still going?
I don't know if it's still going either, but
yeah, I joined that Star Now.
Yeah.
And then I was just like connecting with people on there. And I found this guy. I'm still really good friends with him now. We do still work together. At that time, he had a studio and he had quite, I'd say, like low budget clients.
Yeah.
Really, really lovely. But yeah, just didn't have much budget for hire makeup artists. So yeah, it was literally peanuts. But I thought, this is great practice. Because he was like, oh, are you free? I can't remember how much it was he was offering now, but it was like, yeah, I'll do it, because I felt like it was like an apprenticeship for me. It's like I've hardly done any shoots, like I just by chance got Boohoo, God knows how, but I did. So I thought, right, it's like an apprenticeship. I'll just go and do it, just to build up the experience, build up my client base. So I was like, right, great, at least I'm getting paid a little bit. So I was doing loads with him, and I owe so much of my career to him, because he did just get me loads of clients. We just got on really well. So build up loads of clients through him, and then I was like, I need a proper portfolio. So because obviously I was doing loads of e-com jobs, they all very much look the same, plain white background. I was like, I just need something different. So any photographers that I knew, any models that I knew, was just like, can we just do a free shoot like together, just so I've got some pictures to use to like, to put to clients, because they'd be like, oh, what have you got, portfolio? And I'd be like, not really.
What's that?
Yeah. So I just built up a portfolio, and then I was like, I just really enjoy this side of things.
Yeah.
So I emailed J'adore Models, and I was like, I thought, could we work together in some way, because you've got loads of models, I can do makeup, maybe if you need a makeup artist for any shoots, like, could you, put me forward for it? And they were like, oh, actually, we've just started a creatives board that we're about to launch. Could you send your portfolio? And I was sending what I had, but they weren't quite right, Well, I thought they were amazing. I thought they were incredible at the time. But, now looking back, it's like, I get now why they weren't, industry standard, I would say.
Yeah, sure.
So, they were like, oh, we're starting this creatives board. Do you want to come in and do some test shoots like with our models? I said, yes, absolutely. And then, I don't know, do you know Lewis Darling?
Name rings a bell.
Yeah, I was absolute fangirl of Lewis Darling. Still am, still love his work. But the test shoot was with him. I think he maybe had about 5 models in at the studio.
Right.
And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be having all of these gorgeous shots with Lewis Darling. I was like,
brilliant.
I was so excited. And then, I just had loads of really nice pictures from this. I was like, God, like, I look really professional now.
Yeah.
So, then they just made me a page, and then I was like, signed with them, just sort of out of nowhere, really. So I think everything kind of just sort of happened, like, just almost like by chance, like it kind of just like fell into place.
Well, you say it's by chance, but none of that would have happened if you hadn't have gone out of your way.
Oh yeah,
really,
100%.
to message them in the first place.
Yeah,
so,
and that is a massive thing that I will say to anyone.
Yeah,
just ask.
Yeah,
and it's asking in the right way as well.
Because what is the worst that can happen? They either just don't reply or they say no, and what have you really lost?
Yes, and I literally. I think that for everything, the worst that's going to happen is going to say no or ignore you. So you might as well just ask anyway.
Definitely. So you were signed with J'adore then, and talk to me about how that relationship worked. You being signed with an agency, how did they get you jobs? Did you get your own jobs, and how does that partnership work?
Yeah, so the way that they worked, it was super chill. They were, they signed me on a non-exclusive basis. So it meant that I could get my own work, but any work that they got me would always be booked through J'adore, if that makes sense.
So anything that you booked yourself, they wouldn't take a cut off?
Yes, yeah.
Got you.
But yeah, any clients that went through the agency, it would just...
They obviously did.
Yeah, it would just stay with them, and because obviously that's their client. So that was how I was always signed with them. So it wasn't like I wasn't super busy. I wasn't getting loads of jobs with them, But I was happy to get anything because I was, still fairly new to it all, really.
Yeah.
So anything that came in, and it was always decent, that came through with them. So yeah, that's the way it worked with them.
You said like at the beginning it was maybe a little bit slow, kind of picking up work here and there, some of it not the best paid maybe. How did you actually sustain like your lifestyle during that time? Did you have any other jobs, or was it all focused on this?
So at that time, I was still doing the bureau stuff. So that was filling in any gaps.
Got ya.
And then still doing weekend appointments. So I had little things all in between.
Mm-hmm.
And with the bureau app, I would almost try and leave it as last minute as possible, because as I was getting to know the industry, I realised some things came in the day before. I was like, I can't plan anything in my life, and that was what I wanted to do. So that was my main focus, obviously the shoot side of things. I was like, everything else needs to take like a back seat. So I'd always leave it until two or one day before to book anything in, because I'd be like, I just need to prioritise these shoots, because I'd have things booked in, I'd be like, no, I can't cancel it now.
Just jumping in quickly to thank the sponsor of this season, Capture One, the tool trusted by professionals around the world and the one I've relied on since day one. Whether I'm producing a shoot, working on edits or reviewing on set, it's always Capture One that I'm opening first. If you want to give it a go, and you should, you can get 30% off for the first year of the all-in-one subscription with code Morgan30. It's valid until the 1st of June 2026. Full details and the link are in the show notes. Now, back to the episode. Yeah, and the industry is so last minute. Crazy last minute, I think.
Tell me about
times.
it. Like, even now I get, emails and phone calls at like 10 o'clock the night before, and I'm there on my phone like, oh, are you free? Are you free? Are you free? Like, panic mode.
I know. It's
crazy.
Mental. But I guess another sort of layer of complexity for you at this point was you were quite a new mum, weren't you?
Yes.
Yeah. So how old were you when you had your daughter?
So I was 26 when I had her. So it was, that was all kind of in between. So it was hard because I was still, fairly new to it all, still building up my career. Yeah. So I was like, oh my God, like what do I do? Because I thought if I take time off, I'm going to lose all my clients. Mm-hmm. So I didn't tell anyone that I was pregnant, because I didn't want anyone to fuss over me. I didn't want anyone to like not book me, thinking, oh no, she can't be on set. I didn't really know how it worked then. Like, of course, if it was now, I'd just be like, everybody would know that I was pregnant. I wouldn't care. But at that time, I was like, just didn't want it to affect my career.
Yeah, no, I totally understand the concern at that point, because I think even now people worry, as a freelancer, am I going to get booked for that? Because I don't know, if there's an issue, like I'm not feeling too great on that day, can I do it? Or is the client going to think that I can't do it because there's a potential that I'm not going to feel great and all of this kind of stuff. So I completely understand that concern. So when you were pregnant, had you gone freelance yet? You were in the middle of it?
Yeah, so I was still working for the bureau. Yeah. Still doing all my freelance stuff. And I think I'd got Miss Pap as a client. They'd just been bought out by Boohoo at that point.
Yes.
And they were so regular, regular to the point where I didn't even need to do any bureau shifts really, because they were paying well, and I was like, yes, I've got this client now, but I'm like, oh my God, I'm like really heavily pregnant. I'm going to be giving birth soon, so I didn't want to lose that client. So I went back to work for them after 2 weeks,
which is absolutely crazy.
But they didn't even know I'd had a baby.
I was going to say, did they even know? So
no, they had no idea.
So when you were like towards the end of your pregnancy, were you not like showing? Could people not really tell?
Not really. I was tiny, And
okay.
I'll have to show you some pictures, because before I got pregnant, I was tiny. I was obsessed with the gym. Mm-hmm. Like I didn't really eat that much either. I was probably too skinny really.
Right.
But so when I got pregnant, I don't think I really showed till I was about 7 months. Mm-hmm. So, and then I'd just sort of wear like baggy t-shirts for work with leggings, unless I kind of went like this, and like pull the belly out, you couldn't
tell.
Really tell. So everyone was just like, what?
Yeah. Okay. And then, so you had 2 weeks off, essentially, to have her. And then you went back to it.
Yeah.
How did you then juggle new baby, everything that kind of comes with that as well? And then you were having this constant work coming in. How do you manage all of that at once?
It was a lot.
Yeah.
I think at the time, again, like still very young, you know, at like 26, I was just like, I'm fine, absolutely fine.
Mm-hmm.
I'd never really dealt with like overload, I guess, like at that time.
Okay.
Like before, I was just like, right, take everything. I was just so, yes, absolutely everything. I wouldn't think about it. So, yeah, looking back, absolutely hectic.
I can imagine.
And I wasn't taking I wasn't saying yes to everything after I'd had her. I was quite selective. I was like, I need to keep Miss Pap. So I would do like one job a week, like with Miss Pap. So I wasn't going there 5 days a week. Like I wasn't just leaving my baby like all of that time.
Yeah.
And then, if something really good came in, if it was like a really big job, I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm going to have to go and do that. So it wasn't like full-time working. So I was just dipping my toe into it. It's like, I'm still here. I've not gone anywhere, you know? So, but I was very lucky. Like I had lots of family like around me and they got it, they got that I was so career focused, but also I loved my daughter, and I thought it was nice for them to be able to like form a bond with her as well as me, because I didn't want it to be like too much.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, in my own experience, I think my mum didn't really take a maternity leave either. I think my parents worked for themselves. I think they went back to work, I don't know if it was quite as much as 2 weeks, but very quickly after having me. And I spent a lot of my childhood like being picked up by my grandparents and spending a lot of time with them.
And I bet you've got such a good relationship.
Yeah, it was great. I thought it was lovely.
Yeah.
I still saw my parents enough. Like I've got a great relationship with them as well. So I think if you do it in the right way, it's actually a really nice thing to, be able to have your own career and then your child, be looked after and have the relationships with other members of the family as well. So
100%. And she's honestly so sociable. Like we are so close. Like we've got a really good relationship, but she is just so sociable with anyone and everyone. And I think it's just because she has always had to interact with like so many different people, like from a young age.
Yeah, makes
She'll
sense.
literally go up to anyone, like have a conversation, stranger danger and all that. She just like doesn't care.
Yeah. How old is she now?
She's 5.
Oh my gosh.
So she's in school now.
So cute. So was it at this point that you started like having these kind of influx of work that you couldn't take on everything, and you started, I guess sharing the work or like recommending other people to take on jobs that you couldn't do?
So I wouldn't say it was at that time, not when she was a baby. I put her in nursery as soon as she could go in, basically. And I would say it was probably after lockdown that, obviously the industry was picking up again, and I just got so busy to the point where I was working, like five days a week, that was sort of around the time where I was always recommending like someone else, because I'd built such a good relationship with so many of my clients. Yeah. And you end up obviously being friends, don't you, as well? So it was like, they'd be like, oh, are you free like on Tuesday or whatever? And I'd be like, oh, no, I'm not, but I'm gutted. Like, I can't do it, but let me help you find someone else. Yeah. So, and I was lucky that I had, quite a few people that I could trust, and I knew that they'd do a good job. So that was when I'd be like, oh, well, what about Lucy? Like, do you want me to ask her if she's free? And yeah, she would be. And then I'd be like, I could be making money off this.
Let's go back. You just mentioned lockdown. That happened like soon-ish after you had your daughter. So how did that affect work? And how did you manage that time?
So she was 6 months old when we went to lockdown. So blessing in disguise, I did actually get a little bit of a maternity leave, because obviously from 2 weeks to her being 6 months old, I was still dipping in to the industry. Yeah. So it didn't allow me that time really to spend with her that I should have had. So from 6 months, really, I did get a maternity leave, which now I'm like so thankful for, because I definitely wouldn't have had that otherwise.
Yeah.
Just because I didn't want to lose my career.
Yeah.
So yeah, but at that time, oh wow, I think we all kind of lost it at that point, didn't we? I don't know, you know, when you look back, like I've got so many pictures in my archive on Instagram now, I'm like, what am I doing?
Yeah, I know. I feel like all I did was spend time in the garden and go for walks every day.
Were you not an influencer then?
No.
Oh, I was promoting all sorts of
Were
weird
you?
stuff. Yeah.
Brilliant.
I don't know what
I
was
did
going
try
on.
and start my own brand.
Oh, well, there we go, yeah.
But I was not the face of it like people are now.
Oh, honestly, I cringe out so bad when I look back. I'm like, delete.
But did you earn money from doing that?
I mean, not a lot, but
Oh, well.
I was trying, you know.
I love that, though.
Awful. So, yeah, what did you ask me?
So, okay, yeah, so lockdown happened.
Yeah.
You were forced into maternity leave. Then I guess the work started sort of slowly coming back in.
Yeah.
And then you got like way too busy.
Yes, so I'd say, so before I kind of went back fully to work, I was like, I need to get a job in between this, because it was so quiet. It was like you were still having to be 2 meters apart and stuff. At one point, actually, was it with Boohoo? I think it was with Boohoo. We actually had to guide them to do their own makeup, the models.
Oh my gosh, we did this at ASOS as well.
Oh my God. So obviously that was a thing for ages.
It was so hard.
Yeah. The industry was like picking up again, but makeup artists couldn't. And we were in full PPE, had that big shield over.
I know. Oh. So it's funny because during lockdown, I was actually the hair and makeup team leader at ASOS.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So, and like I have not worked in hair and makeup like before that, really. Like obviously it was in fashion and stuff, and I like beauty and everything, but I'm not a makeup artist, I'm not a hairstylist. So I was trying to like learn how it all worked. Then lockdown happened, I got furloughed, and then I came back in to how do we still keep the hair and makeup artist jobs and make all the models look good when you can't touch anyone.
Yeah.
It was like, oh my God, I don't know. So we had to guide them how to do it. So how did you go about doing that? And then I'll tell you how ASOS did it.
Well, obviously it was 2 meters apart.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd be sat on a chair. I'd bring my makeup kit in. So my makeup kit would be set up.
Okay.
Model would come in, and then I would basically be like, right, okay, so just doing a step by step. Right, okay, if you get that brush there, and I'd be like trying to describe like which.
Yeah. Did you do it literally from start to finish as well?
Yeah.
Like they wouldn't arrive with the base done or anything?
Absolutely nothing. So it was full beat guided.
Wow.
And then, but the models were like really impressed with themselves. You know, once it was finished, like, oh my God, I've actually done a really good job.
Yeah, fair.
Absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, it was similar at ASOS. I mean, I don't think ASOS did as heavy makeup as Boohoo, but we would all get them to come in with a base done, and then basically they would add to the base. But it was the same thing. Get that brush there. And I think some of our makeup artists actually had 2 sets of brushes, so they would essentially do it to themselves and show them, do it this motion and like
this
this
thought about that myself.
Yeah, well, I mean, everyone was just winging it on the spot, weren't they? Because that was such a difficult time.
Honestly. So that, was literally the only work that I had in for a long time. Was like, yes, I've got a guiding job in today. So I was like, I'm gonna have to get something else, because how am I supposed to like get by? Do you know what I mean? I've got a child at home to support. So I'd have the guiding jobs, and then I ended up getting a job with one of my really good friends actually, and the company's called the Napco. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Yes, I know that.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. And do you know what? We had the best time working together, and she was just like, the company was just growing and growing. So I went in actually as a packing assistant. So I was so I was
helping your mate out.
Yeah, so we were literally just working together. There was a few of us at the time actually. I just remember it being like really hot, and it was just in this beautiful like barn conversion building.
Very nice.
And honestly, it was just stunning in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
So I just absolutely loved it. And then I was doing bits obviously where I could in between, and then I ended up like doing sort of a bit of like the creative side of stuff. We were booking in shoots because she'd not done any shoots at that time.
Right.
So like booking in shoots, booking in like models. I would do the makeup.
Yeah.
Like and also trying to coordinate the shoot as well. So yeah, it was really, really nice. And I think as the industry then picked up again and I was getting super busy, then it just, like, that job just had to go. But I very nearly actually gave up my whole career to go and like work with her like full time
and doing like production. I
guess.
guess.
I was kind of at this crossroads really of like, oh, what do I do? Like, do I carry on like in the makeup industry or do I say it was really hard, like decision to make, but obviously it just went the other way, and like we're still really good friends and like support each other, so it's really nice.
Yeah, nice. Were you still with J'adore at this point as well?
Yes, I was still with J'adore then. So yeah, obviously the work was picking up with them, my own work was picking up, and it was after that I just got super busy, and I got this I got an amazing client who was booking all the time, and she would basically want loads of hair and makeup artists at one time. So she'd just be like, oh yeah, you just pick whoever would work best with you, whoever you want on your team, like, yeah, just bring them along. And I'd be like, oh, okay. So I'd just be saying to the people that I knew and trusted, like, oh, do you want to come on the shoot with me? And then they'd sort of invoice themselves. And then it was after that, I was like, I'm doing this a lot. Like, I'm booking people.
Yeah.
And I'm not taking any money. I'm just doing it out of the goodness of my own heart, just because I like them, and I like the makeup artists, I like the hairstylists, I like the team. So yeah, that was kind of where the agency started, because I thought I need to be making money off this.
100%.
Yeah.
So how did you go about building that agency then?
So for ages I just kept it under my name. So I was like, I just said to them, do you want me to kind of like represent you on a non-exclusive basis? I'll make you a page off my own website. So it was like Corinne Gibbons Makeup with their portfolio on. So I could just then send that to clients and be like, oh, what about Ashley for this job? And then I would just invoice it for them. But there was no sort of there was nothing, no contract, like no on paper, like nothing. It was just, let's put you onto this job and like see how it goes kind of thing. Yeah. And then it just got busier. So I was like, I think I actually need to make a real website for this. I can't really just keep flinging people about under my own name and just hoping for the best. Yeah. But I actually need to just make this a real thing, because they were kind of just hidden really, I guess, under my own. It wasn't out to the world. Nobody could really search. And I thought, I'm going to have to leave J'adore, because I thought that's conflict of interest. I can't just start my own agency and expect me to still be working with them. I thought that's not right. Yeah. So basically I handed in my notice like with them. There was no like real notice period, so I could just go. And so left there and literally started the agency like that same week. I didn't have a name though. I'd made the framework, I guess, of what the website was going to look like, but I was just like, I really don't know what to call it, because it was already a thing. It was already kind of going.
Yeah, it was already going. Yeah, and now you had to build the brand out of nowhere.
I was like, I don't know what to call it. And one of my friends was like, oh, what about like something to do with Raya, my daughter? Yeah. I was like, I just don't know if that sounds a bit weird. And also there's that dating app as well as called Raya. And I was like, is that a bit weird? Like maybe let's not do that. And then I think she said, oh, what about Ray? Like Ray the agency or something. And I was like, I really like that. So that's how it came, the Ray agency. Yeah. And then so I launched that in November 22. Obviously we were still kind of just doing things anyway, but officially we launched. So I had all the original people who were working with me before. So that was Amelia, Lucy, Katie, Ashley, Michael. They were all with me before it was even a thing. And they're still with us now. So.
Yeah, brilliant. And was it like at that point that you brought contracts in and like made things a bit more legal? Well, not that it was illegal, but do you know what I mean?
Official,
official, yeah.
Yeah,
and
so
protecting you and them, I guess.
Yeah. So contracts came in. Contracts came in like for the clients as well, to make sure that like people were paying and stuff like that, and not just disappearing off the face of the earth. So yeah, everything became a lot more official, had a proper bank account and stuff, like for, you know, everything was set up like legit. HMRC, we are good to go. So yeah, everything was a lot more official, like from November 22.
How did you know how to like do all of that? Was it just from working with J'adore, or did you have like someone good with contracts kind of guiding you and that sort of thing?
So contract wise, I'd used the framework from what I had before from that, but obviously there was things that needed to be changed, so I did get some help like with changing you know what needed to be changed for the contracts. But but like in terms of like setting it up, I just kind of figured it out really.
I think that's the best way sometimes.
Yeah, you know, you're like, what do I need to do now? And I had an accountant anyway, obviously. So I was just like, oh, you know, like, what do I need to do here? Like, how do I set this up? And yeah, so he's been great, like helping me with stuff.
Yeah, awesome. And this year you're changing it to an exclusive contract, aren't
we've already changed. So from January, we changed like fully exclusive. So yeah, I fully manage everybody now. So it means that, everything that's booked, it goes through the agency, because we were non-exclusive before. So it's meant that I have taken a step back from being on set so much myself. Like I still dip in and out of things, and I kind of leave me as a bit of a what's the word, like a stand-in, I guess. So if everybody else is booked, I'll be like, I'll jump on that.
So it's kind of flipped now from you being the main person and you were like giving these people as backups because you couldn't do the job. It's now you're trying to find them work.
I'm the backup.
But you're the backup,
it's literally flipped. Didn't think about it like that. So because I was still working full time in the industry, and then also trying to run an agency. It was a lot. Like, and then I felt like I couldn't really be like as present, because sometimes on lunch I'd be like having a phone call and, you know, trying to get stuff sorted, trying to invoice. It felt like, oh my God, I can't do this. Like, and I felt bad for the others. So I was like, I can't grow this business if I'm working full time on set as well. Also trying to be a mum, and like then like every evening doing invoices. Just like, this is chaos. So I thought, let me flip it round, and then I can focus on growing the agency, and then it just means more work, like for everybody then.
Definitely. And how do you feel about that now, stepping away from makeup a little bit more?
It does feel a little bit funny, but I do still dip in and out, and so that is nice when I get to, you know, work with the clients that I haven't like seen for a while. And there are certain clients that I still work with, like Alicia Lehman, the footballer. I do everything with her, and you know, that's a really nice one, because we are just like really good friends now, and her team, like Dawn, she's amazing. So like we're just everywhere. We've literally just got back from Egypt not that long ago.
Brilliant.
We're off to Berlin on Saturday.
Oh my gosh.
I'm still doing things, but it does feel funny not to be doing it like full time.
No, I bet. So talk me through like how you as an agency owner, like what your specific responsibilities are within that agency. So are you like actively finding people jobs like every day, or is it more they come into you and you kind of assign jobs to people, or a bit of both?
It's definitely a bit of both. My job overall is a lot.
I can imagine.
I could do with some staff, but you know, we're not at that level yet. We've got a socials girl now, so at least that's
great.
That's one thing that's like taken off, and oh my God, she just does such a great job. Like, I do feel like the feed is popping at the minute, and she's just great at that. So she looks after that. So that's a big job off my workload.
Because I think socials, among everything else,
that's a full-time job.
Oh, it's so hard.
Honestly, I can't. So
over the last year, I've really like my respect for social media managers has gone through the roof.
Honestly,
like, I don't know how you do all of it.
You think it's not a big deal? Like, it's a big deal.
It really is.
And especially like trying to get content from like all these artists, and I'm like, it's hard. Like pestering, just being like, oh, send me this, and you're just like, oh, so So I'm no longer social media manager.
Great. That's one thing off your plate.
Yes. So, but in terms of like finding work, I love LinkedIn. That's how I met you.
Yeah.
So
I love LinkedIn.
Obviously got Fenwick as a client for the agency through LinkedIn. So
and we were one of your first clients,
you
weren't we?
were, and you said you didn't even know
I didn't even know that until we spoke for you to come on here, which is crazy. Because we only opened that studio, I think that was October 2022.
That's so funny.
And then you came in 23, I think.
Yeah, or was it?
Or was it?
It might have been earlier.
Was it?
I think it was like, because I remember it. I don't know.
So it was like literally right when you started.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, it was you guys and Tatty Lashes and L'Oreal. So like 3 amazing clients. Yeah. I remember starting it thinking, oh, we'll just get a few like smaller brands, and then it was just
brands.
Fenwick, Tatty Lashes, L'Oreal. I was like, are you joking?
Yeah.
But it was because I just asked on LinkedIn, and all 3 came from LinkedIn, and I was just like, do you know what? I'll just ask them, send a nice message and just be like, look, I'm here. Like, we're an agency. Have a look at us. If you like us, great. If you don't, like, also no problem. Yeah. Again, like, just asking.
What you had going for you at that point as well was obviously, like, nice message. Everyone likes a nice message.
Yeah.
And if you approach it in a way that's not very salesy, people are much more likely to respond. But also, like, I think your website just looked really professional. You'd obviously had like the experience working with all these brands before, and the artists that you had in the agency, because you'd been finding them work before but under your own name, they obviously had all of those clients. So you had so many brands on the website that you'd worked with previously, and the art, like, as a whole worked with previously, that it didn't seem very legit. Like, it was really legit. Like, you had all of the experience and you were just bringing it now under like a new name. Yeah. So I think that, for me, I think that's why I didn't realise that you were new, because it looked so established, like, on the website. All the work was really great. And like, why wouldn't a brand want to work with you? You know, these big brands. But I think that's the thing. And I think, you know, it's actually really easy to make a website these days. And if you've got all of those brands that you've worked with, then add them on. It's not lying. Like, you have had that experience, and all of your artists have had those connections. So it's just packaging it in the right way, which I think 100%. Is what you did.
Yeah. Because, like you say, collectively we had, and under my own name, we'd all worked with those clients. But the agency itself, like, as a new company. So really funny. But I made that website myself.
Oh, look great.
So thanks.
What did you make it on?
Professional. Squarespace.
I love a Squarespace or a Wix or something like that.
It was very new at that point, but obviously we had been working under the radar.
You've got someone doing the socials, and you're messaging people to find work. But what else do you manage? Are you still managing all the invoicing and I guess the less glamorous parts of it?
I do still reach out. I reach out to people. People reach out to us. Obviously, now everyone's fully exclusive. It means that we've got a really nice pool of clients that we can all share with each other. So, you know, say, for example, if Chloe had a client and it was like, oh, she was booked somewhere else, but I do also have Amelia. So then that's also Amelia's client now, you know? So it's like...
and no one's losing a client either, because it stays within the agency and will obviously come back to them when they have availability.
And that was kind of what I wanted, really. I wanted, like, just a really nice group of people, obviously very talented as well, that we can have a really nice community together, where we've just got this pool of clients that we can all, everybody knows that they've got a certain standard of artist or hairstylist, you know. So that was something that I was really looking for. So obviously it comes from inside the pool as regulars, but then I'll always reach out as well to people, because you know, we obviously always want to grow. And sometimes they'll reach out to me, but day to day, invoices, a lot of invoices. So I'm still that girl. And what else do I do? Constantly, like, obviously booking in, sending over contracts to people, like to sign. Also chasing up lots of late payments. So that's obviously my favourite thing to do.
Oh, of course.
So I'm basically admin queen at the moment.
Yeah. What about, like, curating their portfolios as well? Do you have input in that?
So Yeah, so I do obviously look after all the portfolios. So constantly I'll be on the website being like, yeah, this isn't maybe flowing, because things change all the time. Obviously, makeup styles change all the time, like hairstyles, like everything. Sometimes you look at it, you're like, yeah, this is looking a bit dated now. And I'll, we regularly have meetings like with the artists, and we'll go through it together. We'll be like, oh, what do you think of this? And they'll be like, yeah, not feeling that anymore. So then we'll look and see where there's gaps. We'll be like, yeah, we need to get some more test shoots in, because we all still do that. Even now, like, even though people are regularly booked, sometimes you just need a refresh. So, constantly working with photographers and models and just getting that content in.
Definitely. Do you help them organise those shoots, or do they kind of do that
sometimes
themselves?
I'll organise it, or if a photographer will come to me and be like, oh, have you got a makeup artist free on Tuesday? I'm doing a test shoot with this model. Here's the concept. If you've got anyone that wants to jump on, and then I'll maybe put someone on it if I think it's going to be beneficial to their book. And so like always open to sort of working with anyone really, if I feel like it's going to be beneficial for the team.
No, that's really good. How many artists do you have in the agency now?
So there's 7 altogether. So it's 2 hairstylists and 5 hair and makeup artists.
Amazing.
So however, we do have some people like on overspill, just in case we can't cover a job, or if I needed more people, I've got extra people that I can be like, are you free on this to jump on? But they're not main priority, if that makes sense, on overspill. But main priority, we've got 7.
Yeah, awesome. So I've got a new section of this podcast, the Listen Around. So let me go to the questions and ask you what the listeners really want to know.
Okay.
So, what is one thing that you wish you'd known when you first went freelance?
God, that's really hard, isn't it? Feel like I didn't know anything. I think if I was going to speak to my younger self maybe and be like, this is how you need to get here, I'd say make sure you're networking with everyone, make friends with everyone, be nice to everyone, which I think I always was, but more so like it's a networking industry. If you're not networking with the right people, you're probably not going to come back in. And just always making sure you're on it with everything, not just as a makeup artist. I think other things, like look around you. Is the stylist struggling? Could you really be just go and help the stylist for a minute? Like just use your initiative more, because I think maybe I could have built more connections when I was younger had I have just known, like, think outside the box. What can I do to help this? If there's a stress, if it feels stressful on set, why is it feeling stressful? Why are we rushing? Is there something that you can do? Does somebody need a brew? That's, what I mean? I just think help the team. It's more of a teamwork thing. It's not just you doing your job. It's you helping on the whole shoot. Yeah, definitely. So I would say maybe that.
Yeah. No, I think it's so interesting that you mentioned about networking, because all of the conversations I've had, season 1, season 2, everyone always comments on how networking is so vital and so important.
Massively.
Yeah.
And just like, and not necessarily just out like, attend an event, or it's like building genuine connections. Yeah. Because if you build that genuine connection and you're real, I think just always be yourself, then you're always going to get booked, because they like you.
Exactly. And people want to work with people that they like.
100%. At the end of the day, you don't want to be with someone that you're just going to have real, a hard day with, or boring day. Like you want to be with the people that you like you say.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. The agency has grown quite a lot in quite a short amount of time. What's been the biggest learning curve in becoming a founder?
Biggest learning curve, I would say, is you need to be on it like all of the time. And I would say always check your junk mail as well.
Oh, yeah.
I have missed something incredible because I didn't check the junk mail.
Yep.
And then I think I saw it maybe a week later. And honestly, I was absolutely furious. Yeah. I don't even want to say what it is because it makes me feel sick. But yeah, so always checking junk mail. So now every day I am constantly in junk because so much goes in there. And
it's crazy. I don't understand how they choose how to filter it.
I know, and it's like, oh, here we go, and look at the keywords. That's an amazing brand in there.
Yeah, I know.
maybe think I might want to actually see that. So
yeah,
that's been a massive learning curve, I would say. Check junk, and also, yeah, you just have to be on it with absolutely everything you need. I feel like I am glued to my phone 24/7 because like we've said before, some things are coming in at 10 o'clock at night, and you know, people are like, oh, sorry for the late message, but it's like I'm there. I have to be, you know. Sometimes I'm booking in people at like midnight, so that, yeah, just being on it all of the time is a massive thing, and just again building those connections, networking with people, and also having a really good relationship with the artists as well. Like, you know, I'm therapist to them as well. Like, honestly, we're all crying on the phone to each other sometimes, like, just like because you have to be, you know, I'm looking after them. so it is what it is.
Imagine,
but yeah, just being on it with absolutely every little thing.
Yeah, for sure. What's been your favourite job that you've done as a makeup artist? And this could be like a specific client.
Oh, that's a good question. That's a really nice question. Do you know, there's so many different clients that it's like I love working with them, and the team, like Craghoppers, have been really, really lovely to work with. We've all become like so close now that it just feels like a really nice day, and we all just get along. It's nice to catch up, you know, it's one of them. But in terms of like a wow moment, like, God, there's been so many amazing, especially with Alicia. Like, I've done so many amazing things with her. Like when we did the cover of Forbes, and it's like
amazing.
I was there, like, you know, and you just have to take a minute. Like, I'm literally doing a cover of Forbes here. Yeah. Like, this is crazy. And like I said, we were just in Egypt, and you know, like just shooting like the most amazing locations, and like she looked incredible. Like, I do so many amazing things with her. So yeah, that's really fun. And then like with JD, we've done loads of fun things. Like we've been like walking in the mountains, and I think definitely things on location are always nice if it's not raining.
Yeah, when it's raining, that's a different thing.
I've had many of those as well. It's like, I want to go home. But yeah, I'd say those are like my favourites in terms of like team and places to be, you know.
Yeah, amazing. And last one, how does someone go about becoming represented at your agency?
So for somebody looking to be represented, for something that I look for is obviously talent, but it needs to be someone who has got a portfolio. So because I get a lot of applications for maybe people who are working in a salon, which is great. Like, it's a great starting point. However, I would always recommend to those people, go and build a portfolio, message models, message photographers, and get yourself a really nice book together. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, I can't put somebody forward to a client if they haven't done any photo shoots before, because it's so different, isn't it? Like, obviously, I can see that you're talented, I can see that you can do the job, but clients can't see that. They'll just be like, oh, she's never done a photo shoot before. Yeah. And obviously, you need to be able to do certain things on set to make it look right, and you need to be ready at all times to be able to touch up, know what to look for. Definitely. So I would always say build a book. If you've got a strong book, and if you've got a strong book and I can see that you're busy, I can see that you're working on set, that would be a massive thing that I would look for. And also just, again, asking, like, message me, let's stay in touch. It doesn't have to be right now, you know, you don't need to be signing right now, but let's stay in touch. Say, oh, you know, have you got any tips on like who to work with or whatever, and let's just have a genuine connection, you know, and we can chat and stuff like that. I can keep an eye on what you're doing. So again, networking and just on a personal level. Yeah. So yeah, I'll always look for stuff like that, and you're just making sure that you're like a really good person. Like, personality is a massive thing for me, and I'd say everyone currently at the agency has just got a great personality, and we all just really get on.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I think it's been incredible, like your journey, how it literally started somewhere completely different, and now you've ended up here too booked and busy and getting other people work, which is just amazing.
Oh,
so
thank you for having me. I've really enjoyed it.
Good.